today we're going to be creating a brochure in Microsoft Publisher. So the first thing you'll do is go down to your Start button, and you'll click and you'll find Microsoft Publisher, and you'll click on it, and it'll open up. And you'll see on the left-hand side, these are the choices that you have. And so you'll look over here and you'll find brochures. Click there, and then you can scroll down and choose the brochure that you'd like to make. I like to take the accent box under informational. So double click on that, and that will open up your brochure. And this is page 1. You'll see that it's highlighted in orange, and if you click on page 2, you'll see that that's highlighted. That's how you know what page that you are on. So let's go back to page 1, and let's clear our brochure so that we can begin to add things to it. The first thing you'll do is hit Control A. This will highlight everything on that page, and then you'll hit your delete key. And then you'll go to page 2, and you'll hit Control A, and then you'll hit your delete key. And now you have your brochure clean so that you can add items to it. Let's go back to page 1, and you'll see that that's highlighted. Now on the left-hand side, you'll see your toolbar. And the first item on the toolbar is your arrow key, and you won't use this much. Second item down is your text box. You see when you put your mouse on it that it tells it what it is. We will be using our text box a lot. This is Insert Table. Here we have our word art, which we'll use a lot. This is a picture if you want to insert a picture from the program. And then these are lines and boxes that you can draw. You'll notice at the top of the page, it's just like Microsoft Word, and this is where you can make your font bigger or change the color of your font when you're working in text boxes. So we're going to use the toolbox on the left-hand side, and we're also going to use the toolbox along the top. The first thing we'll do is we'll draw some text boxes onto our brochure. I'm following the template that the teacher handout that they gave me. So get that out and follow your template. First thing I'll do is I'll draw a text box. Now when you click on the text box, you'll notice when you click on the text box, it'll make a plus sign. Then on the left click, you click down on the left click, and then you draw a box. This is a little bit different. You'll have to practice this a little bit. In the second panel, I'll draw 2 boxes. That's for my recommendation. And the second box is for works cited. Now, I'll have the title of my book here, so I'll make a tiny little text box from the author, and also I'll make another tiny little text box for my genre. Okay, first panel that I'm going to work on is my title page. Now I'm going to type in the title of the book, and I just prefer the word art to do my headings, so I'll click on Insert Word Art, and then I get a choice here, and I can pick any one that I want. So I will pick this one and hit OK, and then I'll type in the name of my book there. I'll click OK, and you see that it puts it in the middle of the page. Now I have to drag it up to the top. Okay, and now it's kind of hanging out the edges, so I need to pull it in and make it smaller. When you print your brochure, you need to make sure that there's a little edge right there so that the printing will not be cut off. And I'm going to show you how to check this a little bit later. Okay, now in my text box, I can click in my text box, and I can go up to my toolbars at the top, and I can put my text in the middle. I'll need to make my font a little bit bigger, and I'm going to type in my author. In order to do something in Publisher, you need to highlight it first. So I'll highlight my text, and then I'll change the color at the top. I can actually change this, and I'll make this a nice, more outline colors. Let's see. Right here is where I need to go for the font color. More colors, and I'll make that a nice red. And I can bold that. I can make it a little bigger if I want to. You just need to play around with the different tools. Okay. Now, I'll go back and make all of my headings. And I'm going to use the word art to do that. Okay, my next heading will be recommendation. Click OK. I'm going to squeeze that in just a little bit, and I'm going to put my heading right there at the top. Okay, I need to move my text box down a little bit, and I'll make another heading. Once again, I'll move that, and I'll need to squeeze it in order for it to fit on my page. Okay, if you want to see if you have any items hanging off the page, you go to File, and you can go to Print Preview. Okay, and there I can see what it's going to look like when I print it. Okay, so I know I need to kind of move these up just a little bit. Alright, so I've got text boxes that I can type in, and I've got word art. I can go ahead, this is my title page, and I can add a picture of my book right here on the title page. So what I want to do is minimize my project, go to the internet, open up the internet, and I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to type in the Hunger Games. And I'm going to click on Images, and I'm going to find a cover of my book. I don't like this one because it has the white around it, so let me look for a different one. Okay, this one looks good. Okay, let me right click, copy, open back my publication, and right click and paste. Okay, and there's the cover of my book, and I can make it a little bit bigger. I can go up to this little green circle and I can tilt it, make it like a magazine if I want to. You can do different things. Another thing you can do to the word art is if you right click on your word art, sometimes you have to double click and go to Format Word Art. You can actually change the color here. So if I wanted to change it to maybe red with navy, I could do that, and that would change my word art. I just wanted to show you that in case you want to change the color. Now, I don't like that, so I'm going to change it back to the blue. If you do something in Publisher or even in Word that you do not like, all you have to hit is Control-Z, and that's your undo key. If you want to copy, the only thing you have to do is hit, if I actually clicked on this and I hit Control-C, that would copy it, and Control-V, as in voila, that would make a copy of it. So I'm showing you how to copy and paste. I don't need that, I'll delete it. But these are some shortcuts that you can use. Okay, now it's time to add a background. If I go up to Format and go down to Background, here's where I can add my backgrounds. I can choose one of these pre-made backgrounds, or if I would like to make a color, I could choose a pre-made color. Let's see, I think I'm going to use like a red. So I'm going to choose a red, and then I can choose one of these colors. That'll add a nice background. Okay? So that's how you add a background. If you want to put a border like around your edges or around your book, let me go back and tilt my book back. This is a little bit more difficult, so watch me as I do the border. You have to draw a box around the object that you want to put a border around. So if you click on this little rectangle and then you draw a box around the item, you go up here to these 3 lines, and that says line border style. You click there and go to more lines, and then if I go to border art, I can choose one there, or I could just do a plain color if I wanted to. Let's see if I can find something that I like. Let's say I want to put the little columns. And you can actually change the color here. If I wanted to make that like a bright blue, I could do that. If I wanted to make it bigger, I could make the weight bigger. If I wanted to make it smaller, I could make it smaller. Okay, and that probably isn't the best one for that, but you get the idea. And then if you just pull it out a little bit, then you have a border around your object. I need to pull it up just a tad. Okay, so that's how you put a border around an object. And if you don't like that, you can just hit Control Z and that will take it off. Sometimes you have to, I've done a lot with the border, but I'll take it off. Okay, on the back side, you can also add your background in now, and you'll do the same thing. You'll begin to add in your text boxes. So you may need a couple of text boxes over here. And a text box in the middle. And another text box right here for your list of characters. And you can also go ahead and add in your word art and start adding in your headings. Once again, you can move that over and you can squeeze that in. Okay, if you make a mistake, I didn't capitalize characters, you can actually double click on that and then correct it. Okay, so you can continue to add in text boxes and word art headings on page 2. You can add pictures from the internet. You can add pictures if they have pictures in this Microsoft Publisher. You can add pictures from the program, or you have more of a choice if you Google and you go from images. Okay, last of all, I want to talk to you about saving your work. You probably will not finish your brochure in one day, and so you need to save your work for the next day. You will go up to File, and you will go to Save As, and then you can save your brochure in My Documents, but be sure and go down here and type your name. You notice I put my name and my period so I could easily find my work, and then you can save it in My Documents. You could also scroll if you wanted to, and you could save it on your flash drive. There's my flash drive. I could save it on my flash drive if I want to. That way I could bring it to school back and forth, or if I have Publisher at home, I could work at home. You can only work on another computer if you have that program at home, though. If you don't have Publisher at home, you won't be able to work on it at home. But that's how you save your document. You can save it on the desktop, you can save it in My Documents, or you can save it on a flash drive. You could even save it in your locker, your file locker in Edline, and that way, anywhere you go on Edline, it's there. And if you'd like to see how to save it if you'd like for me to show you how to save it in your locker on Edline, I can do that. But Anyway, you want to save your work so it's there. I don't recommend that you save it on the desktop because someone might come along and delete it. So these are the basics on how to publish a brochure. And if you have any questions, you can come and find one of the librarians and we'll be happy to help you.